My people. Much love to everybody out there. The Alabama football staff seems to be recruiting scheme fit and not chasing rankings. Let me say that again. The Alabama football staff seems to be recruiting scheme fit and not chasing rankings, man. It's a pleasure right now. I got my brother right here with me, man. I got Coach KT, as I call him. Coach Carl Taylor's in the house. Carl, what's going on, bro?
Not much, Coach. How's it going? Just in here,
Man,
man. We're going to talk a little football today.
might as
Alabama.
well, man. We might as well, Carl. Somebody got to do it, man. Why not us, bro? Listen, let's get right into it, man. So here's the deal. I get a lot of feedback. We've done several videos with all the fellas. Shout out to Coach Smook. Shout out to Ty Hayes. Shout out to Coach Jake Merrill. Shout out to Jason from Hall of Fame Sports. Shout out to Jance 716. Shout out to all the brothers, man, who tap in. You know, all the guys. Shout out to Brinsky. Shout out to Sharpshooters Podcast. Listen, we've all talked about it, man. We've all talked about it. Some fans are still Sabinized. And what I mean by Sabinized is some fans still think that we're suffering right now, right? But I do believe I'm gonna play devil's advocate to you, Carl. I'm gonna play devil's advocate. I'm gonna be the fan that don't know nothing. We just see that we're not getting the number one this, the number one that. I'm gonna be that fan, and you sort of give the people a reason and a I guess a calmness of it's gonna be all right. We getting who we need to get. So the first question I want to ask you, Carl, is I see we recruiting these defensive linemen. We got one defensive lineman that's on the radar. His name is London Simmons. Small school in Mississippi, 6'3", 295. Kid had 15 sacks, man, and 25 tackles for loss. Now he's played at a very, very small school, not ranked very, very high. Why are we not going after the 5-star number one this? Why do we go after this kid? Talk to me, Coach.
Because when you're running the 4-2-5 defensive scheme, you don't really need a 5-star kid to run the 4-2-5 defensive scheme. 4-2-5 is based on personnel. So if I have a kid in my high school program that's not very athletic, not very fast, like most of the kids that's on my team anyway, like they're not very fast, not very athletic. They're smart kids, but not very athletic. So you use 4-2-5 schemes which they can use their brains instead of using their athleticism. Now you don't have to think about this and think about that, or you don't have to be the first one to chase this guy here, chase this guy there. You have particular keys inside of your scheme. So if I go get a 3-star kid that knows how to play on ball, that's good with his hands, that knows how to press, set up, look, and react, that's the kid I need. I don't need a 5-star defensive tackle that's going to come off the ball, overpower you for one play, and then the next 2 plays you're taking a break and a breather.
Facts.
I need a kid that's going to go in here and give me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 consecutive snaps, and then I can sub you out and bring in another 2-star, 3-star, 4-star kid that can give me the same exact reps. So what University of Alabama is doing now, they're not playing the old Nick Saban type recruiting thing, like let's get the number one defensive tackle in the country.
Yeah.
Let's bring him in. He's going to bring in more ticket sales. We can increase the price of the ticket sales because we have this 5-star kid, that 5-star kid, this 5-star kid. Yeah. Now what Alabama is doing, they're bringing in the kids that fit their scheme, high character kids that they don't have to worry about this guy riding down the street this morning smoking on weed, or this guy getting popped for a DUI, or this guy coming from a bad background. You might get a attempted murder charge on him.
Yeah.
Kids, a lot of kids nowadays get a little money in their pocket. Then they get thinking that, hey, I got $1 million deal. I
ain't got to work no more. Yeah.
I want you. That girl say, no, hey, I want them to get you anyway. You don't want those type of character kids coming into your program.
Facts.
Like this young kid at Tennessee, I'm not going to call his name. He got a $2 million contract. He's not going to work hard because his money is already paid. You see what happened to Texas A&M, 2 years ago?
Yeah, I did.
9 5
Them
stars.
kids, half them kids ain't even there no more.
Paid out all that money. Those kids
Yeah.
got their money, didn't do nothing on the field. They went on the field and just played, put the jersey on their back, put their name on the jersey, and they just went out there and played. They didn't give you no effort. They didn't go 100%. And then they transfer it out because now that you're not getting the money because your production is not living up to the standard that we paid you for. So these people don't want to pay you the money, so now they all mad and they want to transfer out. So I think that's the best fit for the University of Alabama going forward because Nick Saban is a different type of coach. He can get the best out of 5-star kids. He can bring Najee Harris in and say, Najee Harris, I know you're the number 1 running back in the country, but you got to sit behind this 4-star kid I brought in 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And Najee said, yes, sir. I don't know if Caleb DeBoer has that right now in his bag.
Cachet yet. Yeah.
So he just got to bring in the kids that's going to fit. He had Justin Hayes and Richard Young in here right now. We got to see how he turned those 2 guys and what they doing on the offensive side. And then that'll tell the tale for the rest of his career here in Alabama.
All facts. I couldn't agree more. I could not agree more. Coach DeBoer has his own style. And like you said, that 4-2-5, even though Alabama play a lot of nickel and things of that nature, when you making that your base and you really want guys to fit what you're doing, that rover position, those overhangs, you want guys that can run the alley. You want guys that can fit what you want them to do, man. And I really, really understand that. Now, you got a lot of podcast people that are Sabanized as well. So they figure, okay, well, if Alabama getting kids from SMU, they fell off. When in all honesty, the kid we're talking about from SMU, you know what I mean, Mr. Russell, you know what I mean, I call him K. Russell. K. Russell, I mean, Keelan is absolutely awesome. What the young man who talked about Keelan didn't tell everybody is Florida, Florida State, Oregon, Ohio State, Texas A&M, Tennessee, all wanted him, right? He forgot that part, right? So what do you say to the fan that see us getting a quarterback from SMU? And by the way, SMU is now in a new conference. They got an offensive head coach, and SMU has plenty money. Shout out to Ty Hayes. Ty Hayes and Jason really schooled me on that part of the country and in Texas and let me know in Dallas that SMU is rolling in the dough. So I can understand why Keelan took that. I do. I understand, right? And when Alabama came calling and he saw the vision of the future of Alabama, right? I understand why he flipped. So what do you say, Coach, to the fan that don't understand why we getting kids from SMU?
Personally, what I would tell fans why we're getting a kid from SMU, Keelan Russell. You just gotta watch. You just watch Duncanville High School.
Just watch facts.
I'm just saying, just watch Duncanville High School play. Yes, he plays with a whole lot of talented kids, but this kid is the driver of that Ferrari in Duncanville High School.
Facts.
Man, this kid is special. If I was an Alabama fan right now, I would be stoked. It's just like Keelan Russell is the equivalent to Deshaun Watson at Clemson.
Boom.
If this kid turns out and be the kid that everybody know he's going to be and that he should turns out to be, Alabama just landed next to Deshaun Watson.
Boom.
And that kid,
I agree.
Run, that kid can throw, that kid read defense, the kid don't get rattled. He can take hits. Yeah, he's a little smaller right now. They put a little more weight on him, get him bulked up a little bit. I think by the end of this season, this SMU ex-recruit will be a 5-star quarterback and probably number 1 quarterback in the country.
Boom.
Because he's playing in Texas, man, and you know Texas is the mecca of football. So I don't understand why these people from ESPN and all these other outlets are fucking negative about the SMU recruit. That kid could have been at Georgia.
Facts. Oregon, Ohio State.
Oregon.
He forgot that part, Coach.
Texas.
Yeah, he forgot that part. So
yes, sir.
The thing about it is, Coach, when I see these guys and I see what they're doing, I respect the fact that Kalen DeBoer is doing it his way. I really, really, really like the fact. You know what it also tells me? It tells me that they are really doing a great job of evaluating. They're evaluating, man. They're not just going by the rankings and things of that nature. They're evaluating these kids because just last year, usually I'm on top of these kids. But when I saw Justin Hill last year, I don't know if he was on the radar like that, man. When I watched Justin Hill's tape, Coach Smook showed a little bit of it last night. Man, listen, this kid is dynamic. This kid come off the edge. He's fast. He can cover. He plays in a defense that's very similar to what he's going to do in college. Jake Merrill did a really, really, really good. Coach Jake did a great breakdown of this kid, man, and really put me on to this kid. So I got to really watching his tape, man. So I don't give a damn about his ranking. This kid, I want him at Alabama, man. I want Justin Hill at Alabama. 6'3", 225, stand-up edge, 4.25. How does he fit, Coach? He stands up. How does that kid fit into, again, scheme fit versus rankings, right? How does the scheme fit of Justin Hill fit into the 4.25?
On a 4.25 defense, the stand-up defense end, you usually rotate them in and out. Yeah. Because on most plays, you want the hands in the dirt defense in on one side, at least on one side of the ball, you want one defense in to have the hands in the dirt. Okay. And on the other side of the ball, outside of the ball, what we call outside of the quarterback. So on the outside of the quarterback blind side, you want a stand-up guy. Because usually you get a fast twitch stand-up guy with a lot of power, you can overshadow the offensive tackle.
Facts.
Either you beat them on the inside, or you beat them on the outside, or you push them outside and you spin back inside. Some way, somehow, if you get a kid that knows how to play defense, you can beat a good offensive tackle. Sometimes you beat the best. It happens every day in the NFL.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Listen, I'm excited about this kid. I think we need to. It's going to be an uphill battle because the kid is from Ohio, so we know what school is in there on him. We need to throw every sink, wrench, cabinet, everything at getting this young man because he fits well into what Kane Womack wants to do. And I really, really, really hope we get this young man, brother. I really do. Now, transitioning to the offensive side of the ball, another scheme fit versus ranking. We got this young man named, we talked about him last night, but we really want to dive into it, Jackson Lloyd. Now, Jackson Lloyd is a 6'7", 290-pound tackle. Now, I get every day on Twitter somebody hit me saying, 290, coach, that's light. That's not a tackle because they've been Sabanized in the 6'5", 6'6", 340, 330, Caden Proctor, Tyler Booker-esque type offensive lineman. This kid is 6'7". The kid averaged 15 points and 8 rebounds, man, in basketball. He's athletic. The kid run a 4.8 40 at 6'7", 295. Didn't give up a sack at all his entire junior season. Good foot placement, good kick slide on the pass block, good hands, man. What do you say to the people that's saying, well, this kid is only like the 11th ranked tackle? Why y'all not going after the number 1 ranked, which we are going after the number 1 ranked tackle. But hypothetically speaking, if we get Jackson Lloyd and not him, what do you say to the fan that don't understand why we're recruiting the 11th ranked tackle? What do you say to that fan that's so used to us throwing all our eggs at the number 1 tackle? They don't understand why we recruiting the number 11th ranked tackle.
I would say pay attention to now and when Nick Saban turn. Yeah. Even when Nick Saban turn, even though we got most of the number 1 tackles that we went after, we still end up getting number 9 tackles, number 10 ranked tackles. Hell, we even got some number 15 ranked tackles that turned out to be pretty good. We brought them in, you train them up, you put them in the system, get a little weight on them. I think 290 is probably the best weight for offensive tackle in this day and age of sports. Yeah, because of the fast twitch, spread offense, fast defenses in. Most of the defenses in coming out the end now are not 300 pounds anymore.
Exactly.
They're 250 to 275. Quick out the ball, athletic with a lot of power. Most of their strength is in their legs now at the new age defensive end. Yeah. You look at cats like Will Anderson, which play outside linebacker, but hey, he's a defensive end. Coming off that age at 6'4". He wasn't 300 pounds. Will Anderson was 245. Coming off that.
Maybe.
Dallas Turner 235 last year coming off their end. Those are monsters. The days of the Jonathan Allens coming off their ends are over.
Yeah.
Those days are over. So you need a smaller, more combat, speedier, shiftier offensive tackles. Why? So you can match up with the speed on defense. Man, your quarterback getting tired of getting killed. So give me somebody at 290 that knows how to bend.
Yes.
That knows how to shuffle. That knows how to slide from right to left. That knows how to grip, hold, turn, and run. Ride the defense in all the way out of the play. That's what you're looking for nowadays in offensive tackles. Not looking for offensive tackle that big and solid, because unless you Michigan on a down here running game, that's want to run 100% of the time, you want a 350-pound tackle, and even Michigan tackle with 210. 310. Michigan offensive tackle with 310 at the max. No, Coach Saban did a great job with Caden Proctor, recruiting Caden Proctor. They put a little too much weight on Caden Proctor, which made Caden.
He got a little big. He got a little big.
He got bigger. He got slower. He started reacting a whole lot slower. And as the season went on, you start seeing that he started slimming back down to basically getting back close to his original weight, and he started progressing better. Things started moving faster for him. Even with Tyler Booker, when he first started playing, he was getting beat off the ball because he was big and slow. You only have two things you can do as a big guy. You're going to have to jam him and hold on to him, because you're not going to chase anybody. You're not going to out-physical nobody running. You're not going to move faster than anybody. Your twitch is not there. So with the agility part of offensive tackles, they have to have a high agility rate. Give me a 290 tackle with an 85% agility rate. I'd take him over. I'd take him over number one tackle any day. Now you give me a number tackle at 300 pounds, hey, that's different. That's a different breed.
Yeah,
but I take that number 11 tackle at 290 any day.
All facts, man. I think Jackson Lloyd is. We watched a couple tapes, couple of plays on him last night, man. And the kid is fundamentally sound. He got room to grow. He's athletic as hell, man. And in this type of offense with so much pinning and pulling, so much counter scheme gaps. You got to have a tackle that can get up out of that stance and get out of there. You got to pull, especially if you're pulling across the formation. Man, you got to go. You got to get out of that stance and you got to go, right? I've seen so many times tackles be slow pulling across the formation and mess the whole damn play up, right? Either the running back got his hand on their back, pushing them, trying to go, messing the whole play up, man. So I do understand. This is one of those scheme fits. Now, the number one guy, the number two guy in this class, I think is Sanders and Haywood, whatever his name is. Yeah, both of those guys are smaller tackles too, and fit perfectly into the scheme as well. But I do understand the scheme fit versus chasing rankings, chasing high stars and things of that nature. Look no farther than what Texas is doing on the defensive side of the ball with linebacker Anthony Hill. Now, Anthony Hill is like 6'3", 230. He was a freshman last year, but this kid came off the edge and was giving Caden and every other tackle in the country major pain, right? They want those kids, just like you said it, Coach. They want those kids on the edge that can go get the ball, can cover if need be, and are athletic enough to cause disruption. You ain't got to sack the quarterback every time. If you can affect the quarterback, that's still a win, right? That's still a win. So I do understand that, and I agree with you 1,000% on that.
And think about this: LSU, they fan talking all that nonsense.
Of course.
What did LSU do with Perkins his freshman year? They put that 215-pound guy on the edge, and he caused havoc. What did they do last year? They put him in coverage, and the kid can't cover.
Facts.
He's out there in coverage, trying to learn how to cover, trying to learn how to read this, trying to see a tight end come across, trying to figure out over the running back or a tight end. He was lost. You put him back on the edge and let the boy eat. LSU have top-ranked defense. Man.
I bet they will. That didn't work out too well for them last year. You know what I mean? That didn't work out too well for them last year at all. So again, ranking versus scheme fit versus ranking. I would tell all the fans right now, man, listen, these guys are developers. Courtney Morgan is doing one hell of a job getting these kids in here. And what's crazy is look at Jackson Lloyd. As soon as Alabama offered this kid, if you look at his timeline, 2 days later, another school in the SEC offered him. He didn't have a Georgia offer, bro. You know what I mean? So it's like, come on, man. Everybody, it's a copycat game, and I understand. I get it. You know, we know how it is. But I would tell the fans, don't get so caught up in the stars. A lot of these kids, I can remember in the last 5 years, camping was huge. Like some schools even demanded that you camp. A lot of kids don't go to these camps, man. A lot of kids, some have to pay, some don't. Some of these kids they don't camp. They don't camp. And a lot of times that affect their star ranking when they don't camp. So you may be looking at a tackle who's possibly better equipped and better suited to be better than your number one, number two tackle. He just don't camp a lot. So a lot of these services and 247 rivals on 3, they don't see him. All they have is his game tape. And a lot of these guys are really, really high on camp. So transitioning back into Jabvon. Oh, go ahead, Coach. Go ahead.
That's your question, Coach.
Yeah, go ahead.
How many number one recruiting tackles that Wisconsin had in the last 20 years?
At Bama?
Wisconsin. The University of Wisconsin.
Exactly.
How many number one recruits has Iowa had?
Exact. None. They just developed them kids.
They developed those kids. Some of those kids are kids, like you said, that don't camp.
Yeah.
So most of the kids that don't hit the Rival 24/7 camp, the On 3 camps,
these Nike camps,
the Nike camps, they're not going to get the stars as all these 5-star kids. Most of these 5-star kids showing up at all these camps, and being that they all in every single camp, everybody just keep getting them stars.
Yeah,
I don't see a 1-star kid that beat out that killed a 5-star kid. Just literally kills 5-star kids.
Yeah.
Drake Kirkpatrick Jr., they labeled him a 3-star because he never been to a camp.
Right.
When that kid got into the Alabama-Mississippi All-American game, did he look like a 3-star kid? Or did he look like one of the best kids on the field?
That's a whole fact. Dominating. I watched Eddie Jackson, bro, play offense and defense at a 7-on-7 camp. Nobody knew who the hell he was, never camped. And this boy was dominating on both sides of the ball, man. He was playing both ways, and nobody couldn't do nothing with Eddie Jackson. I'm like, who is that? And he was like a 3-star dude. Nobody knew who Eddie Jackson was. He just like, bro, I don't have the money to be camping. My family ain't got the money to be traveling like that, right? And look at Eddie Jackson. He's still in the league, still doing his thing. So that's a whole fact.
How many 5-stars that asked to get drafted in the first round in the NFL per year?
I don't know. Not many, yeah. There's a ton of 3-stars and 4-stars, though.
It's the 3 and 4 stars to get drafted in the first round. Those are the ones that comes in and work hard. 5-star already have it. Oh, I'm here. I'm that guy. I made it. But that 4-star comes in and kill you. Devontae Smith was a 3.5, 4-star. He was a 3-star until he got the Alabama off. Then he became a 4-star.
And every 5-star ain't like Julio Jones. Julio just a different kind of breed.
He's different breed.
Different breed. Yeah, Minka Fitzpatrick. Them boys were just different. They even now they different. They still.
Henry Rose was a 4-star.
Henry Rose, yeah, man. And Henry, you know, God bless him and God bless the family that was injured by him. That kid coming out of high school, man, I thought he was gonna be a basketball player. I did. This one was taking off from the free throw, jamming on folks. I'm like, yeah, this boy gonna play basketball, not football.
That kid can ball.
He can. That kid was stupid athletic, man. Stupid. So Jabvon Campbell. Now, this is a pass rushing defensive end, 6'5", 265, right? He was a 3-star. Now he's a 4-star. And this kid, Jake Merrill loves this kid. Shout out to Jake. Jake loves Jabvon Campbell. This kid on now he camped at from what I read, he only camped at one camp, the big one, the I think it's Nike VTO or something like that. It's the camp that they invite you to. And he went out there and dominated. Didn't nobody know who the hell he was, right? One of those situations where he got the size, but we don't know him, so he can't be that good. Went out there and nobody could block him. All your 5-star number 1 tackles, Sanders included, could not block this kid. Could not do nothing with him. Could not. He was the best player there, right? Now he's on everybody's radar, right? So scheme fit versus rankings. We've been recruiting him for a long time, even before he dominated the camp. Coach DeBoer and them was on him. Now he's at Bama this week. He's at Bama this weekend, right? Speak to Jabvon Campbell, 6'5", 265 pass rushing kid, was a basketball player from Kentucky, right? Now he's being recruited by Coach DeBoer and staff.
One thing about Campbell that I like watching some of his highlights, the way he get off the ball.
Boom.
He's quick off the ball. Just like I was just talking about Harold Perkins. Campbell is quick off the ball. You know, the best thing about Campbell is no wasted movement.
Correct.
Most of the players you see in football, once they come off the line, or it was offensive line, defensive line, wide receiver, corner, they have that first itch. They take an itch here or a step here, or they got to move their hands and do some kind of shake or move in order to get going. This kid, he sets up to the offensive lineman. He's looking, he's on inside look or he's outside look. He sets you up. And once he finds out where your eyes are turning or your hip bending, if you're trying to bend a little too much or you leaning too far over, trying to beat him to the punch, and he's gone. He's gone.
Yeah.
He's out the gate in a hurry. He comes out the gate like Henry Rose and come out the gate in the slot.
Facts.
He comes out the ball and he come out the ball hard and he comes out the ball fast. And the way he dips and turns and gets up on him when he rips, the dude is phenomenal. The dude is phenomenal. I'm surprised.
And mind you, Coach, I am too. Man. And mind you, like this, Coach, mind you on this. The fan would ask, well, what about the high-rated guy, the number 1-5? Listen, this is what I was trying to tell you. This is what me and Coach trying to tell you. Look how this kid is climbing. It's just like what Coach said a while ago. You give it to, this is early, man. Wait till they evaluate his senior season. This kid is going to be a top 2 defensive end in the country. It's just our coaching staff has been on him way before that. What does that tell you? Yeah, they evaluating. They don't give a damn about the star. They like, that kid can play. We gonna go get him. Now the kid is climbing the ladder. He's gonna be highly rated because now he's starting to camp. I'm sure he'll go to a lot of camps his senior season because he's getting a lot of pub now. But again, scheme fit versus chasing rankings. They was on this kid before he was even ranked high like that, right? That's why I got faith in his staff.
I think Ty should do a comparison video with him and Isaiah Gibson.
Yes, Ty Hayes. Boy, if you listening, brother, you hear that, Ty?
Do a comparison with
Ty.
Gibson, him and Isaiah Gibson, and then let the fans see. Let Alabama fans see the difference.
Number 1, yeah, facts, and you'll see. Even the naked eye can see. The guy that never played the game, never coached the game, he could see the like talent. And better in some facets of the game. I personally like Jabvon Campbell better against the run than Gibson, right? This kid will play the run. He'll stand in there and take on blocks.
He'll take on blocks.
Yeah.
He'll eat 2 or 3 blocks to free up a line.
He'll eat 2 or 3 blocks. All facts. So this is my point of this video. I want to tell the people out there that this staff is doing just as good of job as evaluating as our past staffs, right? You take Coach Saban out of the mix and you just go staff for staff member. You just go, coordinators and position coaches. This staff and position coaches are doing just as good a job as the past Bama staffs, if not better in some facets. I don't remember us having a top 5 ranked recruiting class this early the last couple of years. Now, we ended up with the number 1, number 2, number 3, whatever. But I don't ever remember us being this highly ranked this early and having this many recruits on campus this early. What you think about that, Coach?
I think last 3 or 4 years, Coach Saban got a really good place. I think it was just something about it with the NIL thing, with the pay to play situation. Coach Saban was in transition. I'm thinking about trying to bring in some of these top coaches. Like he tried to get Ryan Grubb because he was trying to transition into this NIL type scheme, football scheme.
Yeah.
So now we know that NIL is here and it's here to stay.
Yeah, for sure.
Coach Saban looking at it like, hey, Alabama don't have the Texas money. Alabama don't have the Georgia lottery money.
Yeah.
So we have to find, now we got to find coaches that we can evaluate kids a little bit better than we had back in the past.
Facts.
With Lane Kiffin, he didn't have to have a NIL type of coach. Lane Kiffin was an offensive genius. He can take anything and go on the field and put up points. It really didn't matter. Nowadays, when you go out and get a Notre Dame coach, I'm not going to call his name because he was horrible.
Yeah, facts.
You get a Notre Dame coach who really don't know anything about offensive scheme, offensive concepts, stuff like that. These kids nowadays, hey, if you get Ryan Grubb out from Alabama, you don't have to pay me. As long as you got this guy, I need $2 million.
I got to have the money. Facts, man. We said this. That's what you guys just heard is 100% facts, bro.
Now with Coach Campbell the boy, he's looking at this. If I go out here and bring this kid in and pay this kid $3 million, and then I can bring this kid in as a 3-star, then I don't have to pay that kind of money. And then this kid gonna give me 20 times more effort at that 5-star kid. He may be 2 seconds slower in a 100-yard dash, but 2 seconds slower in the 100-yard dash. They making what $75 million a year in the NFL right now.
That's a whole fact. Yeah,
there's not many people in the NFL that wide receivers as fast as Jamar Chase.
Facts.
And they getting paid millions. Jalen Waller probably one of the fastest, is one of the top fastest ones in the league. Him and Tyree Hill on the same team. Justin Jefferson is not as fast as Jalen Waller, but Jefferson just set the record for set the bar high. Got CeeDee Lamb not even want to go to camp anymore because he want to get that 75, and CeeDee Lamb is not as fast as Justin Jefferson.
That's a fact.
He's about a half a second slower, probably a second and a half slower than Tyree Hill. So you don't need
quite a bit.
You don't need that 5-star speed. All you need is the best fit kid that's gonna come out here and work. Those kids that got drafted this year from Washington, how many of those kids were 5-star recruits? They just sent 3 wide receivers into the league this year. I don't
did.
More 5-star recruits.
That's McMillan, Adunze, and the other kid. Yeah.
Can't even know his name, but he got drafted in the first round.
Yep. A couple of linemen, a lineman, I think. They had, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Washington had just as many as Alabama did. I think we had 10 drafted and they had 10 drafted.
They had 10 drafted.
Yeah. So what did that tell you?
None of them were 5-stars.
Yeah.
I don't think 5-star on their roster.
I don't think they did either. I can't. If they did, I can't name them. And that should tell the Bama fans and the haters, more importantly, that trust Coach DeBoer's process. Trust his process. Coach Saban was awesome because he got a discount from these kids. Like a kid wanted to play for Coach Saban. Well, I ain't gonna charge you, Coach Saban, no million because you just Coach Saban. Right? Coach Saban come to a high school, they having you think it's an assembly going on. They stopping class, the whole class at the windows watching the helicopter land. When he come in, he command that respect to where the kids are not going to try to break him off with the same nowadays things that they do in the norm. When they started doing that, it's just like you said. That's when Coach Saban started saying, nah. I think he spoke on it. He said, after we lost to Michigan, instead of the kids thinking about what we got to do to get better, they hitting him up with, hey, man, what my NAL going to look like? How much you going to give me to stay? Come on, man. So that's why I like the revenue sharing. That's why I like all this stuff that's coming, because while it'll be more money for the child, it'll let them put some limits on this stuff. That way, everybody gonna see what everybody offer. It's gonna be above board. No more backdoor deals. If Texas offering this, right, we'll know about it. So we'll know to either match that
no more
Lamborghinis and all that ridiculous stuff. Like, if you don't know that stuff is an advantage, bro, like what we talking about, right? So, they can do what they want to do, man. I appreciate our coaching staff doing what they do and really, really, really evaluating these kids. Coach Saban is the master evaluator, but I don't think sometimes with the way our staff was flipping over every 2 or 3 years, every other year, I don't think it's hard to replace good coaches, man, right? It's in abundance. Now, you may get one good coach and replace another one with another good coach, but when you lose 3 or 4 really good coaches, man, it's hard as hell to go get 3 or 4 that match that, that match that. And we kept losing guys to better opportunities. Guys was leaving Alabama getting head coaching jobs, right? So that'll catch you at some point. That'll catch you. It's kind of like what Ty Hayes said. Ty said it got to the point on our defense to where either we covered really, really, really well, or you'd see somebody running wide ass open. Yeah. So it's just like, I appreciate Coach KD transitioning to now this kid. Now he don't get a lot of love. He's a punter. Why are we recruiting punters, Coach Sean? Why are we giving punters scholarships? This dude averaged 51 yards and booted a 68-yard from the 68-yard punt, no roll in the air. Like, this kid is an absolute monster. He's one of those Aussie kids, those Australian kids. They're very good, I guess I should say, at their punting style, just like James Burnip, who Burnip will be one of the best punters. I like the fact that you're getting a punter, man. A punter can help you flip the field. A punter in some situations, depending on how you playing, can save you when he flipped the field. Right? Your defense coming out flat. They're not playing very well, right? Flip the field. Let us get our ish together, right? Don't give us no short punt. Give them a short field. Defense ain't playing well as it is, right? You give us a jolt in the arm and flip the field and let them start on their end of the field, our end of the field, whatever the case may be. That might help a little bit. I say yay to the punter, and they identified him. What you think about that, Coach?
As you just said, Coach, punters.
Facts.
They flip the field. But if you get sacked inside the goal line, you at 4th and 25 from the 2-yard line, and this kid can punt at 61 yards. That's a difference.
Heartbreaking.
Yeah, yes. That's a difference. And that's all in the air. If you're kicking it that far, with the speed Alabama has on the return team, if the kid fails to catch a fair catch and he let the ball hit the ground, that ball might roll 20 extra yards. Now you got
20 extra yards
from inside of your goal line, inside the 20.
Facts.
That's a swing, man. Anybody who don't say recruit punters are crazy. You need specialists. Yes. Kickers, punters are specialists. Those are game savers, game winners. Kickers are game winners, punters are game savers. Because if you don't recruit a good punter and you get somebody out here kicking the ball 28, 30 yards punt, 9 times out of 10, your defense going to be in the short field.
That's a whole fact. It can save you.
Keep getting offense in short field. You can start getting a lot of points, no matter who you got calling defense. You can have Jim Brewer back there calling defense. You give offenses in college football a short field. You give up points. You're going to give up points.
That's a whole fact. So if you get a kid, I can't agree with that more, man. That is awesome what you just said, Coach. 4th and whatever, you backed up on your 2-3 yard line, and this dude boom a 60-some yard punt. Now we got them inside their own 20 with a roll. Man, that is heartbreaking for the other team. Heartbreaking.
even if they fair catch it, they still get fair catching inside their 40.
Yep. That, you know what's so crazy? That will take a team's mentality from happy, high five, and yeah, we got them to, oh damn. You know what I mean? Yeah, quick, man. So
now you have teams doing coaches, special team coaches taking unnecessary chances. Let's rush the punt.
Yep.
He booms the punt and gets a flag.
Because and then we got the ball again. Yeah.
Unnecessary chances to try to stop this punter. That's the difference in between wins and losses. When you have a special team coordinator have to take account for a punter, man, you're doing something. You're doing something.
Yes, sir. I couldn't agree more, man. That's a whole fact. So to everybody that and all the haters that's wondering why we're recruiting punters, when you get a kid that can boot it 60 plus yards, you'll understand why. You'll definitely understand why. Transitioning into one of my favorite guys. This is one of Coach Smook's favorite guys. Coach Smook actually know this guy personally. Shout out to Travis Smith. Smith. Yeah, wide receiver from ATL, Georgia, that Columbus area, moving to ATL, back and forth from Columbus to ATL. This kid is 6'4", 6'5", right? 190, 200 pounds. Now, obviously, 5-star kid. Obviously, we know Georgia is going to be in on this kid, right? But the kid has an affinity, and his family has an affinity for the University of Alabama, right? Now, this kid fits perfectly. He's highly rated and fit offensively what these guys love to do. This kid will block. This kid will counter you to death. That he's used in motion a lot. He plays the X. He plays the Y. The guy can do everything. The Z. This kid can do anything, man. He can play all three wide receiver positions. Tall kid. I personally think he was a better route runner than Cam Coleman. I think this kid can sit down on short routes. He don't mind catching the ball. Unlike Cam, he don't mind catching the ball going across the middle. Big kid, big target, going to get hit. Kid don't mind. Kid will go up and get that thing, right? What do you think about this kid and the staff really putting all their eggs in a basket going after this kid? May possibly be an uphill battle, may possibly be, but I love that Bama is showing we want this kid as well. What do you think about that, Coach?
Man, Travis Smith, wow. Travis Smith Jr. is to Caleb DeBoer is a Roman Doomsday.
Boom.
A bigger bird Roman Doomsday.
Yeah, I think so. I think so too, man.
I think he's like coming out of Georgia. I think he's like the modern day Megatron.
Yes. This kid is like that.
Don't drop passes.
Don't drop passes.
Always open.
Yes.
It's like 20, like what they say, 7-11, always open.
Yeah, always open. Yes, sir.
That should be his motto. He should be 7-11's new spokesperson because he's always open. I don't get it, man. Like, if we get Travis Smith, that's gonna be. That's gonna be.
I'm happy with him, man. I'm happy with that kid. He's a good kid, come from a good family. Coach Smook speaks of him very, very, very highly. So I know the kid has got great character.
It just, man, like with Kirby Smart, man. Kirby Smart has somebody from the University of Georgia. Probably had to do a house living. I think he got somebody living with the kid. Like,
yeah, I wouldn't doubt it, man. We know Kirby. He gonna pull out all the damn stops, man. You know how that go. Kirby ain't gonna leave no stone unturned, bro.
Not after Caleb down and just Hayes left the state of Georgia and he's back there. He's not giving Caleb a chance. So he's gonna be at this guy every single day if he can possibly.
Every single day. Now, let me tell you this, Coach. This is my.
I think that's gonna be I think that might be detrimental to him too. I think if
it could be too much.
Sometimes you need to lay off. You just need to lay off.
Yeah. It could be too much, man. Now let me tell you this, Coach. This is one of my favorite kids. I'm gonna tell you who my favorite kid is, and then I'm gonna tell you who I feel like we need the most. My favorite kid, man, I really like Michael Carroll. This 6'6", 318 pounds. They say he's an interior offensive line, Michael Carroll. He's from Pennsylvania. This kid got Arkansas, Florida, Florida State, Penn State, UGA, Michigan, right? Got over 20 plus offers, right? He was a 3-star kid. Now he's a 4-star kid. Not your top interior lineman, right? Michael Carroll, this kid played defense. He played offense. The kid is so damn athletic, he could probably play defense. And when you watch him on offense, oh, you talking about a road grader, cuz he pancaking everything. He putting defensive linemen on their back. And he played with some aggression too. If you watch him, he getting up, talking. I love that. I love that big, nasty offensive lineman that ain't with it. Michael Carroll is one of my favorites, and I am thankful to the heavens above that we got that kid. Not highly ranked, but definitely a kid that's better than most of the people I seen in front of him. And that's a whole fact.
And that's true. The talk that Tyler Booker says is what is the bigger issue. Like Tyler Booker always talks about being physical, being dominant, being the best at what Alabama does. This kid brings it.
Yes.
This kid don't talk. And you need kids like this. Kids that don't talk, just show up and mold you. Nice, tough, physical, nasty.
Nasty, man.
This is one of the main, that's like the number one thing I tell my offensive lineman now. Man, I don't need you to be nice. I want you
Facts.
to be nasty.
Yes, because you'll play like that. Yeah.
Just be nasty. You be nice when you're on top of the hill in the classroom to the teachers and the students. But when you get on the football field, you nasty. Whole time, 100% of the time, you just nasty. When you sit on the bench, you be nasty drinking water.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
This kid is nasty. Those are the type of kids that you want on your program. When that kid said that he was a 3-star kid that was signed on the University of Alabama, when I started watching his film, I said, Lord have mercy.
I did too. I was like, but I found out he was a wrestler. Never camped. So they don't know about this kid yet. They will. They will. Right.
Once that kid gets inside of your pads, it's a wrap.
Yeah, man.
You're not beating that kid. Like Sarkisian had the defensive line last year that molded through Alabama offensive line. They're not molding through that kid. That kid has too much pride. Too much pride. He's not molding through that guy.
You know when I knew that kid was a monster, him and Landon Dickerson, our former center, was very, very, very close. Landon met him and took a picture with him. The kid was bigger than Landon, man. He was bigger than Landon. Landon a big old boy. And I seen where Landon was speaking on him saying, listen, this kid gets it. He's smart. You better get this one. Right? So this is why I say scheme fit versus not chasing rankings, man. This kid is better than some of the young men that they have ranked above him, guys. Right? This is what me and Coach trying to tell you. Scheme fit will always win out in the end, guys. Right? It's all good to get a highly ranked kid because some of them will be good. Some of them will justify their rankings. But when you're talking about on the normal college kid, how many number one people at their positions have been drafted before guys behind them? Look at the NFL draft. All those kids weren't the number one people at their position. Terrion Arnold wasn't the number one corner. Inkstraw, what his name, went to Missouri. He wasn't the number one corner. Those two guys both went in the first round and are better than a lot of the kids that was ranked above them.
Inkstraw was a 3-star.
He was a 3-star. And he was better than 90% of the corners in the draft.
Kool-Aid.
Exactly our point.
Kool-Aid was a 5-star.
Kool-Aid was a 5-star. Real stuff.
Got drafted in the second round. Terrion Arnold.
Drafted in the second round. Yeah.
High school was a 5-star safety.
Yeah. Yeah.
Number 2 corner off the board.
Number 2 corner off the board, man. So that's what I'm trying to tell. That's the purpose of this video, to let the haters know we don't care what you think. We don't care how you feel. We have faith in the coaching staff. We see what they're trying to do. We see the kind of kids they're bringing in, and the Bama people have faith in the staff. It's going to be all right. Coach, we finna get up out of here and wrap this thing up. Been going about 50 minutes now. Tell the people, man, where they can find you. Tell them what your future plans are and let them know what to be on the horizon for, man.
All right, man. You can find me. My Twitter's at the bottom of the screen at Coach KD Taylor on Twitter. I am on Facebook at Carl Taylor. That's on Facebook. On Instagram, it's what is it? Taylor.Carl35, 34, something like that on Instagram. Taylor.Carl34. I am planning on starting a YouTube channel. I have everything worked out, building my content up as we speak. I am officially calling it On the Block Sport Talk.
On the Block Sports Talk. There it is. There it is. Hey,
Talk with Coach Carl.
Lock that in. Lock it in.
Coming soon.
I will let you know as well. Whenever he come out with it, we'll all be posting it and helping Coach get his arms out there as we all help each other do, man. Shout out to Ty Hayes. Shout out to Coach Smook. Shout out to Coach Jay Meir. Shout out to Jason in Hall of Fame Sports. Shout out to Brinsky from Sharpshooter Sparks Podcast. Shout out to Coach Jantz at 716. Man, shout out to all of our brothers and our boys out there, man, who help us all. Shout out to JG from Oklahoma. Man, shout out to all those guys, man. Those guys are great content creators. Go follow those guys. Go follow Coach Carl. Love talking football, man. We love getting together and big up in our universities and giving each other love and picking at each other a little bit. Follow these content creators, man. The Alabama football staffs these guys are recruiting for scheme fit, man, not chasing rankings, right? Much love to you all, man. Shout out to you all. What you got, Coach? Go ahead.
That's a no more chasing 5-stars.
Facts, man.
Unless they fit your scheme. That's one thing I love about Kirby, man. Kirby took that Nick Saban, took everything he learned from Nick Saban, and then once he started chasing 5-stars, once he find a guy that fits his scheme, he go all in for him. He stopped chasing that 5-star kid just because he wanted 12, 13 5-star kids on the roster. Because even if you got 13 5-stars on your roster, you can't play but 2 or 3 of them at a time when they first come in their freshman year because a lot of them not developed. So what happens this sophomore year? They playing for Texas. Oh, they going out to Oklahoma.
Yeah.
They going to Ohio State, so they heading back to Georgia, play for the University of Georgia or Clemson. They coming in. If they don't play right away, they getting out of here. You get out of here. Kids come in, they want to develop, get better, get stronger, get smarter, and then they gonna come out there and give you all they have. And by the time they get to junior and senior seasons, they might compete in the junior.
That's a whole fact. And ask Michigan. Michigan had probably more people come back than anybody in the country. I mean, hell, they had 18 people at the combine. That should tell you all you want to know. That Michigan team was by far the most experienced in the country, and they should have won. They should have won.
18 seniors.
18 seniors, brother. That's crazy, right? So
senior-led team.
Senior-led team. So that tell you what you want to know, man.
Blake Corum could have came out the year before last year, went into the NBA. And the NFL got drafted in the first or second round. He came back. Won a national championship and still got drafted in the late second round.
Yeah, still did his thing.
He didn't even lose position in the draft. So they came back for their team. So
it reminds me of Alabama's 2021 team. Was it 21? Yeah, with Mac Jones, Najee, Devontae, Jalen Waddle. All them boys came back, man. All them boys came back, and they all, they came back to win a championship, and that's exactly what they done. In the most non-dramatic fashion, 52-24 of Ohio State, whipped everybody, undefeated in the most difficult season imaginable. All SEC games and still won.
And increased their draft stock. So, fact, man. Listen, guys, you can find me at JMHO Sports Talk. That's just my humble opinion sports talk on Twitter and YouTube, man. And definitely tap in with Coach Carl. Stay tapped in with him on Twitter. And that content is coming. And until next time, man, which will be very soon, roll tide to you all. And here's our friend called the Spinning Wheel of Doom.